Welcome to the resurrection of my art shop, and welcome to the Community Beehive. If you're new here, hi, my name is Bee, and I live full-time in this Ford Transit van, and I'm currently globetrotting around Colorado at the moment. A couple years ago, I put my full-time art shop on hold to pursue a job in the medical field. I won a scholarship, and my parents made me follow through with going to college and then going into the medical field. I wouldn't change a thing though, because it introduced me and got my life on the road started, and I think it's about time I try and reopen my art shop, rejuvenate her, and not only get her back to where she was, but allow her to truly thrive in the way that I have always hoped and dreamed. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Community Beehive. If you're new here, hi, my name is Bee, and I live full-time in this Ford Transit van, and I'm on a journey to reopen my art shop. Now, I used to run a crochet shop full-time before I went into the medical field and started traveling, which inevitably led to road life. Now, since then, I've picked up a couple new mediums and things to enhance my handmade wearable art shop. I recently started sewing, and I started creating these absolutely incredible pants that I'm so proud of, and I started making them for myself because I just decided that flowy patchwork pants, or just pants in general, are what make me feel most comfortable, and also I feel like I can wear them in the summertime and in like the fall, the spring, sometimes in winter too if I put sweatpants underneath. And I just really love the look, the feel, and the vibe of flowy pants. And the thing about being an artist is, like, once you start crafting, you just keep wanting to try more crafts. So today I'm on a new sewing journey, and I want to take you guys with me. It could fail, it could succeed, I have no idea. So I just got an Amazon package, and I got a couple new things for these projects, and I'm going to show you them. So the first thing that I got, I actually already had, and I didn't realize that it came with my sewing machine. So this is like a free motion presser foot, and I do have one that's plastic that I just found when I pulled out my sewing items, but that is totally okay, and I'm still gonna try this one, and worst case, I'll just set it back. Now, I got this because I heard someone talking about backing, and I didn't realize that there was a difference between tearaway backing and cutaway backing, and this, I believe, is tearaway backing. So there's sheets in here, and I think I'm gonna try it with a couple, and if I don't like it, then I'm gonna return it to Amazon. So 2 buys, 2 potential returns. We continue. Oh, there's already a guaranteed return, potentially, actually. So I didn't realize this was an ironing board cover because it wasn't advertised as a cover, because I looked to make sure it wasn't a cover. It's just a cover. So I wanted the little tiny ironing board that's on here. Anyways, so I'm gonna see if I can find the ironing board, and if not, then I have to return this. Now this is what I'm really excited for. So let me show you. This is the package that it came with. It says dual tip acrylic markers, so like just 2 different sizes on the markers. It says it's fast drying, waterproof, bright colors. And it says that it can go on rock, wood, paper, ceramics, fabric, glass, plastic, and cards. Now, I'm an artist. That is a lot of different things to cover. I actually think I want to keep this. So on our project to-do list today, we have used these acrylic paint markers. And so this page, there's a front and there's a back. So there's like 3, 4. These are like all the colors I feel like I could ever need. Now, let's say I don't know how these are going to work, so the reason I want to hang out today is to kind of see how these work. I took an old pillowcase and I cut up the pillowcase after I ironed it. This pillowcase was cotton and it was beige, and once upon a time she was beautiful, but she's no longer beautiful. She's stained, dirty, and old, and my fabric is in the back of the van, but unfortunately my partner got the flu that everyone has gotten the beginning of 2026 that I know in my general vicinity. Everyone's getting sick. So he's in the back right now, and I'm up here because I want to craft, but he deserves to lay in bed and rest all day, or else normally he'd be here gaming, but instead he's back there gaming. I took the pillowcase that was extra laying around the van, and I cut her up. I only cut up a few pieces just because I want to like experiment. And so I have all of these acrylic markers. I have some pillowcase fabric that's cut up. I also have these. It's 80 different marker colors, which I think is really fun. So let me tell you the idea. The idea is I make a design on here, and I can use paints, different acrylics, and then I'm going to sew them on different pieces of clothes and basically make patches. I think it'd be really fun to sit down and have patch days where I just sit and make a bunch of patches. I've seen so many people make so many different types of patches. I've seen people make them with fabric, which will be really fun whenever I decide to layer different types of fabrics, like if I was making fruits or vegetables or literally anything under the sun. The possibilities are literally endless. I want to get just a bunch of things ready and also just start getting in the groove of posting my art shop again, because I took a really big break to travel for work, and then I took a year off from everything to take care of my mom when she got sick, and now this is the year of honoring my arts and crafts and reopening my small business, the thing that brings me so much joy. So let's get into it. Okay, it was really bright, so I decided to just do a couple of doodles on my own and then report back. So this is the first one. It is just like my little trial piece of fabric, and I started with the mushroom, but I used the dull end of the marker instead of the other like more fine version, and I didn't really love how it turned out, so I stopped drawing it. This is the dull end, or the rounded end, and then this is like the fun like little paintbrush type. So after I did the mushroom, and I felt like it was hard to draw on the fabric, so I was like, let me try something different, and the snail came out way better. Also, like the snail has like a lot of curves. I did 2 different colors on his shell, and after the snail, then I went and did the strawberry, but I kind of wanted to like make it a patch, so I drew the strawberry and then the strawberry top, so then I can layer the top on top of the strawberry and kind of do like a 3D effect. And then I also did a cute little blueberry and an olive. Then while I was looking at it, I was like, ooh, I feel like these might be kind of small for patches, but I'm still gonna keep them because I could potentially just do, I don't know, patchwork of patches somehow. So I decided to try a little bit bigger of patches. So I think this blueberry is a good size. And then I really like the color scheme on this olive. And then I tried to do like a little stack of olives. I will say that I am not the best painter, but this has been really fun to practice my painting. And then the last thing is a little lavender bouquet, and I just thought it would be like really fun. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to try out the markers. So other than the mushroom, all of them are used with the other side of the marker. And my goal is to make these into patches that I can sew onto clothing, sew onto crochet. I've been really wanting to make my own patches and layer them with, like, once I do the paint, then layer it with thread. So kind of like embroidery, that's why I got the free motion presser foot. Now I'm gonna continue drawing up some designs, and it's gonna get kind of dark, cold, and late over here. But I was super excited to try out my paints and just start this new journey. I've been thinking about it for so long and wanting to do it. So I'm like, I just need to sit down, lock in, and try it. And it was really fun. I'm going to probably continue making some little patches. And then I don't have my sewing machine set up right now in the van. All I have is the big mess of all of my supplies. I've kind of condensed it down. I have my crate, which I'll put everything in my crate when I'm done. And I just use a piece of cardboard from my package to just draw and like watch YouTube videos. So I just want to kind of take you along this journey, and I will check back in with you next time I start working on some art stuff. And I'm just going to show you my process of trial and error. I've done a bunch of different types of crafts and projects, from making rugs, pants, clay, patchwork, so many different types of artsy mediums. And I've never documented the full journey. The only journey that I did document the beginning portion of was rug tufting, but it was short-lived only because I'm traveling in a van now on the road, and it's just a little hard to keep up with that. I do still have my frame, and I actually have some unfinished rugs on my frame right now at home in Florida. Eventually, I will be returning back to Florida. I just want to live on the road right now. And one day when I return, I will want to make custom cute rugs for all the little nooks and crannies and get back to that eventually. But out of my first few, which one is your favorite? I think right now my favorite is the snail. I just think she's a little small. And then I really like this pink and green olive with a little heart. I love it. Okay, so I decided to shift to the back. My partner is feeling better. He prefers playing games up there because it's dark and there's no lights. So he prefers the front because it's completely pitch black up there. I prefer the back because there's ambiance lighting and it's just cozier back here. He was resting all day because he wasn't feeling very well. We already went through these guys that I made. This is the lavender. I'm going to be turning this lavender into just like these little posts. What are they? Okay, they're stamps. They're really, really cute stamps. I don't know what I'm gonna use these for yet. I was just designing for fun. I had written something here, but I didn't like it. So whenever I cut out the patch, I'm just gonna cut out the color. But for photos that I'm taking, I wanted it to look better. So that'll be cut off. I think this one is so cute. And I really like all of them. So I think I want to make some more of these. I'm just going to keep creating until my little heart's content. Also, I've been working on a ton of crochet things. A lot of it is up at the front and I don't want to go get it, but this is a reversible little top. So your head goes through here and then your arms go through here, and then I just tied it with some little bows. I think this is so cute for spring. I was debating on sewing the inside like fabric, like taking fabric and making it so like you could wear it with no bra because you're covered in the front. Or you could wear like a sports bra. I wanted to show you this because I just finished it. This one is a sun. I don't know if you guys can see the sun. And then I have a ton of granny squares already made up. So I'm going to start piecing those together. And I'm just going to slowly start making content for them and getting ready to let people know about my shop and just show the process of the things that I'm making. And then also be able to let people know that the things that I'm making will also be in my next shop drop. I have been absolutely obsessed with these fabric markers. Completely and utterly obsessed. I'm trying different ways of doing things also, like different shapes and seeing what side works better with what shape. I'm back for another day of working on my small business in the van. The last time we hung out, we were making some patches, and today I finally have my sewing machine out and about. So let me just show you the chaos of what's going on in this van right now. I was getting deep into it, and then I was like, wait, I'm vlogging this journey. Okay, so back here I have all 3 of my cats. I also have some packing stuff because I did just get an order. So I have my order over here, and then these are just some other things that I want to sell in my shop drop. And I'm going to be experimenting with some art today. This is the state of the van right now. So this is the only outlet we have. It would be really awesome if we could have another outlet like right over here with all of our electrical components. These are all of the patches that I have been doodling on fabric. So this is just an old pillowcase as fabric. Okay, so this is a patch that I made. Now, we've talked about how I'm not an artist in the sense of drawing or painting. What I've done so far is I took some fabric off of the back of this, which is just an old Crown Royal bag. My friend Jessie gave me a whole bunch because we use them as pockets when we're making pants. But I just needed some scrap fabric, and I had gone in my garage so many times. So this is the first patch. What I did was I took the fabric of the Crown Royal bag, put it underneath as like just like a little bit of a stabilizer, and then I used tear-away paper. And I realized after I started sewing, I was like, wait, I need my free motion foot for my sewing machine. And then as I started, I realized I don't know how to set that up. So I just did the border. It is secured, as you can see in the back. I was trying some different stitches, so it may look really messy. That's the point. I'm learning. I have my phone on a tripod with my AirPod in so that I can watch the videos and stuff. So this is a counter extension that we just added. Oh, there's a little kitty cat going to explore. So right down there this is my chair that folds up and it sticks right in between my other two chairs. My sewing machine on here just because it's a tad bit lower. I do need an extension cord because having this cord running through the van is just not ideal, but we are going to make it work. Okay. I really like it. I like that I have a bunch of space. I have the whole counter back here. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice working on some patches. Once I get done with sewing, then I'm going to package up my order. The reason I want to try and work on some patches is because the person who ordered is a friend of mine. She lives on the opposite side of the country and I'm currently in Colorado. I believe she's in like the Maryland area. I want to try and make her a custom patch with an extra little piece of clothing as like gratitude, and also just to practice something new because I've never made patches before and I think that it's so fun. Basically, I can make whatever I want into patches. Yeah, today I want to work on my patches, install my free motion presser foot, just kind of get the swing on exchanging it out so that I can make some patches and then reinstall my regular presser foot and then sew different things. So this is something I've never done before, so we're gonna learn together. The tutorial that I'm watching says to keep it together because you have this little lever on the back of the presser foot which will release your presser foot. I'm gonna keep this together so I don't lose anything. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this really quickly. I bought myself a free motion presser foot off of Amazon and this is what she looks like. And while I was organizing my sewing stuff, I realized that there's literally one that came with my machine. So I'm gonna try the one that I bought off of Amazon. Just because I bought her and she's metal, and the one that came with my sewing machine is plastic. And I'm just gonna see what the vibes are. It was actually a lot easier to install than I thought it was, and I have her installed. There is a whole entire kit that came in my sewing machine, and there are about 4 different presser feet and a bunch of tools, like extra tools to clean and maintenance. And I realized that I know nothing about sewing, about maintenance, and I know that, you don't need to know everything to start, but I think that's now my next new project of homework, is to sit down and learn about all of the different attachments that come with my sewing machine so I don't make this mistake again and buy something that I already have. Presser foot is installed. Continuing watching video to see what our next steps are. Being a beginner is one of my favorite parts of being an artist because there's so many different art mediums, and I feel as if I have definitely sifted through my fair share of different types of art, and just the whole process of learning, educating yourself on the do's and the don'ts, and there's just so much beauty in letting yourself be a beginner and letting yourself make bad art. And I'm so grateful that I have gone through this before, and so I thought it would be really fun to document the process for you guys of me being a beginner at something, in hopes that it encourages you to go be a beginner at whatever it is that you've been interested in recently. Okay, so I have done a few different things that I want to show you guys. So the first one, there is no judgment. This is the back and it has the tearaway paper. I haven't torn it away yet, but I was learning how to do different designs and basically just practicing. I know every single time I start sewing something, I love to jump right in, but I'm trying to like pace myself, slow down a little bit. And so I just drew this painting that I felt had a bunch of different complex layers to it that I could practice precision with my sewing machine. So I did the whole border and then I played around with it because I just wasn't really grasping, because I really wanted to get this because I am making stamp patches, and I've only done the borders of these 3 and I feel like they look so good so far. This is the first one I did, a little rough, a little less rough, least rough so far. So I think that is so cute. And I did this one a little bit differently because I really like these patches and I want to be able to use them if they turn out good. And so I did layer them with a thing of felt. I got a whole bunch of felt for 32 cents per sheet at Walmart. I got a gray one, 2 gray ones, 2 black ones, 2 white ones, and 2 tan ones. So I just went with gray on this one. The next one I'm gonna do is this purple. I'm gonna go around and do the border, and I'm sticking with black because whenever I change the color to do different thread colors, I'm gonna have to rethread my whole machine. And thankfully, I bought a color thread kit and it came with a box full of bobbins already threaded with that color, so I love that so much. And then I've been doing my due diligence to make sure I rethread each bobbin. So I'm gonna continue working on this one, and then I'm gonna see what I have the most colors for, and then probably switch to that color so that I could do multiple things. It's looking like the color I have the most of is like blues and purples. I've made some really small designs like this strawberry. I tried to cut out things that were all the same size, and it's like this one I did one whole thing. This one is also a full picture and they're so cute. So I'm gonna continue going around with black, and that's just something that I'll have to think of in the future or continue reminding myself is, you know, going around and making sure I do all of the color that I have, because that's just gonna be the most time consuming process, I think. So something that I learned is like on the edges, it was like kind of hard for me to get the hang of it. As someone who's a self-taught artist, I taught myself how to crochet, and then I've also been teaching myself to sew. And the biggest thing that I could say is allow yourself to be a beginner, make mistakes, and know that it's just gonna take time for you to get the hang of it. So I'm gonna work on my last round of the stamp, and then my next portion is to go around and try and do all of the little details that make them look like little stamps. So I was recording a video when I somehow broke my needle, but I think it's kind of for the best because I've used this needle on so many projects and I have not changed it yet. So I get to change it for the first time, yay. My dog needs to use the restroom and this is in front of the door, so I do need to come up with a better system. I was thinking of putting like another little table here just for when I'm working, but I need to, she literally gave up and went back to her room. Sewing machine here. My crates of things. This is my shipping stuff, so this is normally not going to be here, but this and this for sewing. Welcome back. This is the last little piece of the vlog that I'm gonna do because I have definitely been filming for I think 3 different days. Sometimes art is slow moving and I want it to feel good and right, and I'm also learning something new, which is so fun. So if you have made it this far, thank you so much. I want to go through my patches that I finished today, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and try and sew one on to my first order. I think I might add some pink yarn on the pink part, but I'm not sure. I could just leave it like this too. I finished these. I haven't done him yet. I haven't broken out the yellow. Look at how cute this olive is. Oh my gosh, the details. And then we have my matcha. I did a little bit of detailing on the mug. It's so cute. I'm gonna be transforming this cat hat and adding some cute little details to it. Oh, I forgot to show you my last patch. Look at how gorgeous she is. She's stunning. I love her so much. I did a pink border for the stamp. So I'm gonna cut out my patches that I want and then lay them out on the hat and then try and sew them on. I know this would be easier on fabric, but I really want to see how it works with crochet and how I can make it work with crochet. I fear that I'm so obsessed with this that I want to keep it for myself. by hand, and then
that's pretty cool.
I sewed it.
That is pretty cool.
And I made them my stamps myself, and I crocheted the hat.
That was pretty cool.
Right?
I think you definitely upped your game.
Thank you.
That's super cool. Wow, you made your own patch. That's actually
I know, isn't that so cool?
Fuck. I was very curious about what you meant by you're gonna make your own patch.
My own patch.
Yeah, it looks very good.
Thank you. And this is like really like not good, you know, like it's gonna get better because my first one, like my first crochet top, oh my god, terrible. Definitely, I mean, it's only gonna get better. Like if it looks this good now,
it's gonna look.
I can't wait to see my progress.
Fuck yeah.
Like this is day 2.
Day 2.
That's really exciting. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. I've truly been enjoying myself diving back into the world of art and creativity. There was once a time in my life where all I did was craft. There was constantly yarn in my hands, and there was always a work in progress, orders to be shipped, and things to be made. It was truly one of my favorite times in my life, and also one of the times where I was the happiest. And now I'm working on getting that version back of me, the one that's always creating. So if you're watching this, thank you so much because you are helping an artist's dreams come true. I have a lot more art vlogs coming your way. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite part of this vlog. And again, my name is B. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.